Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. The LifeLine ChildLine Namibia will be hosting a free parenting workshop in Rehoboth today, the 4th of February 2026. The initiative is aimed at building good relations between children and their parents. To shed more light about the workshop, I'm joined by Kristian Namwandi, the Early Childhood Development Project Coordinator at ChildLine LifeLine, as well as Namibia, as well as Iyaloo Nangula, who is the Khomas Regional Project Officer, also from LifeLine ChildLine Namibia. Good morning to you both, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Absolute pleasure to have you this morning. Kristian, let's start with you. Perhaps now that we understand that the project, or rather the workshop is aimed at building good relations between parents and their children, just expand a bit more on what really the initiative is all about. Yeah.
So, well, this initiative actually started years back, more than 17 years ago.
17.
So what happened, LifeLine, in collaboration with Bread for the World, which is our donor of some of this project, and now currently also we are joined by UNICEF Namibia.
Yeah.
And what happened, they were raising concern. So this initiative is actually in response to this raising concern about child abuse, family breakdown that we have nowadays in society. And the idea was actually for communities to share intervention on how to better understand, relationship between a parent and a child. So basically that is all. And the idea was now to aim, looking at the parents and caregivers, how do we ensure that there is a good relationship in family?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Iyaloo, talk to us about the impact you hope that this workshop actually will have on parents and the children, especially, now having spoken so much about the girl child in the past, but now I think the focus also is on the boy child, especially, being the statistics having shown that boys are perpetrators, kind of causes of, a lot of abuse and gender-based violence in that. Just talk to us about what you hope to achieve from this workshop.
Okay, so these workshops aim at actually just giving the parents skills and knowledge on how to better understand their kids, and also then how to give that space to the kids also to express themselves, especially the boy child. Because if you see in the past, the way we were raised up by our parents, a boy child was not really given the opportunity to say how they are feeling, right? You will find in most cases that they are not even allowed to cry, for example, if they are hurt. But if a girl child is hurt, they can, cry, and then they are smoothed like, okay, no, it's okay, and what. But the boy child is mostly told, but you are a man, you should be a man.
Men don't cry.
Yeah, men don't cry, and you have to be tough and all those things. So these are the things that we are aiming at addressing. Just to also give parents to that opportunity to say, it's okay for a boy child to cry. It's okay for a boy child to show these emotions and express it. Because then that will also then contribute to the decrease of suicide rate that we are seeing that is very high in our country. So yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that explanation. Kristian, let's talk about what what ChildLine Life or LifeLine ChildLine Namibia actually then focuses when it comes to understanding relationships between the parent and a child. What has been the observation in the past 17 years, and what are we really trying to tackle? What has been, also some of the observations, seen as far as the relationship between a child and a parent?
Okay. First of all, if we are to look at where we are coming from, we are coming from cultural and traditional background where we have harmful gender norms. And these harmful gender norms, sometimes they have an impact to children, to the parents themselves. And we have now a situation where we find ourselves where there is generational trauma. A parent went through abuse to the point where now when they are now a parent, they also tend to abuse their own children. And those are now some of these practices that we are trying to change. We have situation where there is poor relationship between parents, and like what she alluded earlier to say that back then, it was a bit difficult for the boy child to express their feeling. Now we want to change the dynamics, the narrative, to say that boy child can also cry. So let's allow the boy child to express themselves, to cry. Because back then you are told boys don't cry. But a boy child is a normal human being just compared to the girl child. So these are some of the areas that we are looking at just to ensure that there is a bond between the parent and the child. And the other thing also, nowadays we are living in a situation where children do not really express themselves toward their parents. They rather share their own issues with a friend or a stranger, perhaps. And now the idea is now to create that open relationship between the child and the parent, where the child can express themselves when they are having issues. It allows them to say, oh, I'm comfortable with my mom. My dad is okay coming to him and saying that, Dad, I failed. And then the dad can support. How do we support? Because failure is not at the end of. So those are some of the, ideas and, norms that we need to actually eradicate in our society. Those harmful ones. And don't get me wrong, they are obviously good, actually gender practices in society. But the idea is to look at those harmful ones that, have an impact to a child-parent relationship.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much for that explanation. Iyaloo, there are so many ways or styles of parenting. And, I think this is also going to be a great opportunity to tackle a lot of topics that you're going to be discussing at this workshop. Why did LifeLine, ChildLine, decide on these topics? And what are some of them, if you can just take us through some of them?
So with this workshop, we look at 5 topics that we took from the National Parenting Handbook that was developed by Ministry of Health together with LifeLine, ChildLine, and also other stakeholders. So these topics, they are, one, it's being a parent, where we look at how we were raised up and how we are raising up our kids now. Just like what Kristian have mentioned before, is that some of us, we were raised up in a harmful gender norms, right? So then how do we then change that in a way that we are raising up our kids now? So that is what we look at when we talk of being a parent. And then we also have a topic on parent-child relationship, where parents now reflect on how is their relationship with their kids currently, and what are some of the things that they want to change, and how can they change, those things between their kids.
Very well.
And then we have another one where we look at VEC, which is violence against children. So this is where we look at corporal punishment, because most of us as parents, we believe that when a child does something wrong, beating is the only solution, right? So we look at what other alternative way to discipline a child that does not harm a child. For example, you can say if a child does something, maybe you can take away their cell phone, or you say they will not watch, television for this period of time. But so we are trying just to show parents that beating is not the only solution, right? Because beating causes more harm than, good. And then we have another topic where we look at traditional and cultural practice. And it's also what Kristian was mentioning, that this is where we look at now those harmful traditional norms, right? Where can we change, and what are the good practices that we can implement now in our child-parent relationship? And then the last one that we look at is from the Men Care manual, and we look at the division of labor. How can parents, both a mother and a father, contribute or share the responsibility of taking care of the child, right? Because most of the time, what happens when a child is sick, it's a mother that has to take time from work, right? When a mother comes from work, it's the one that they have to cook and all those things. So this is where we look at how can we both share these responsibilities when we come home, when it comes also to taking care of our children.
Very well.
So, yes.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Kristian, as we conclude, just talk to us about briefly, you obviously hosted this workshop last year. Just talk to us about some of the outcomes, if you can just mention a few, and also just, to our viewers who are watching, also are perhaps going to be in Rehoboth at the time, where, and the time that also this workshop will be taking place, yeah.
Okay. Currently, we are having 2 donor-funded programs. One is Bread for the World, which is now running in 3 regions. And in these 3 regions, it's now Khomas, it's Hardap, and Karas region. And we are so fortunate, we now have also UNICEF on board, and which help us to reach to more regions, which is now Ochazonjupa, Kunene, Kavango East and West, and Zambezi region. Yeah. So it assisted us. Last year, we concluded, not last year, but last of last year, we concluded a project whereby we have so many success stories. And if I'm to mention some of them, we have situations where parents will come out and say, thank you to LifeLine, my relationship with my child, I now understand my child better. Yes. I now know how to change. And these are the things that we are talking about, behavioral change of parents, to see where can we change to ensure that my bond with my child is better. And then in these regions, or let me say towns, Rehoboth, we have community-based facilitators that are trained, equipped to facilitate these sessions. So irregardless whether you speak Oshiwambo, Oshierero, they are equipped. They can even conduct this session in vernacular languages for the parents to understand better this topic. So it's just up to the parents to reach out, the caregivers to reach out to us, and see how can we accommodate them, when can we conduct the session, because these sessions are continuous, so throughout the year. So it's not really a matter of, it's a once-off thing, but today we have one of the groups that are being conducted in Rehoboth.
And what time will that start today?
Probably at 10.
11.
It's 11.
Yeah, between 10 and 11. So parents that are willing to join, they can always reach out to our office. We have a Rehoboth office where they can actually reach out. So normally what we do, we set up an arrangement with the parents, they enroll, and then we decide these parents, when are they available? For it to be convenient for them to attend. And we are trying to break down these things, so parents enrolling and then later they go out of the project or they drop out. So we are trying to make it easy for them. And then the other thing now, in these new regions, now we have been running this project in 3 regions, now we have more than 8, and which is quite, good. We are trying to reach the population and make sure at least, this information reach every parent to change the mindset on how.
Absolutely. This is a very, very important topic, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here, and wish you all the best for today's workshop. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Kristian Namwandi is the ECD coordinator at LifeLine, at ChildLine Namibia, as well as Iyaloo Nangula, Khomas Regional Project Officer at LifeLine, at ChildLine Namibia, who was talking to us about, of course, a parent workshop that will be taking place today, the 4th of February, in Rehoboth. And of course, it's expected to start at 11 o'clock this morning.